Hey, what's up you guys? I hope you're having a great day today. So there were a few comments and questions on some of my previous videos about when the Antichrist will be revealed and how this lines up with the timing of the rapture of the church. So without further ado, let's get into this. I wanted to address first off, who is the Antichrist? The Antichrist is the son of perdition who will rule over all nations during the tribulation period. We see this in Revelation 13, 1-8. It describes the Antichrist. This passage prophesies the Antichrist rise to power, and the whole world will worship him during the tribulation period. So just to clarify, there are many antichrists in the world because the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. However, there is only one son of perdition. This is the Antichrist that we are talking about today. Like I said, that is found in Revelation 13. So this leads us to the question of when will the Antichrist be revealed? So in order to answer this question, you need to understand who the restrainer is first. One of the most famous passages that talks about when the Antichrist will be revealed is in 2 Thessalonians 2, verses 7-8. And it mentions the restrainer, as you will see. So we must first understand who this restrainer is. So starting in verse 7, for the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Only he who now restrains will do so until he is taken out of the way. Verse 8, then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. So I looked up some of the words in the original Greek. I was curious. I found that the word used for he and he who now restrains will do so until he is taken out of the way. That word he is actually the word ho, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. As always, I apologize. But it means the one, referring to the one restraining. Also, the word used for taken out and until he is taken out of the way, I found very interesting. The Greek word is, and I know I'm going to slaughter this, you guys, the Greek word is genomhi, which means coming into or being born, which immediately makes me think of the woman in Revelation 12 giving birth to the male child. I have done several videos about the male child not only being Jesus, but also representing the church. The Greek word harpazo, meaning caught up, this word we find in 1 Thessalonians 4, speaking of the rapture of the church, and then also here in Revelation 12, it's the same word. It says, she, starting in verse 5, Revelation 12:5, she, speaking of Israel, bore a male child who was to rule all the nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up to God and his throne. So caught up, harpazo, the same word that we see in 1 Thessalonians 4, speaking about the rapture of the church. So it took me down this rabbit trail, right? I started with the Greek word genomai, which means coming into or being born. That is here in this passage, 2 Thessalonians 2. So these all connect in a very fascinating way. So take it or leave it as you like, but that was just me looking up some of the original words in the Greek. Okay, so who is the restrainer then? The restrainer is the Spirit-filled church. In Matthew 5:13, Jesus says, we are the salt of the earth. And what does salt do? Salt preserves. They didn't have refrigerators back then, so they would use the salt to preserve their food, to preserve their meat. So when Jesus says we are the salt of the earth, in a way, we are also preserving the earth because of the Holy Spirit who lives inside of us. So it is the Spirit-filled church that is preserving, that is restraining at this time before the rapture. So now we understand who the restrainer is. So we know that when the church is gone, the restrainer is removed, then the Antichrist will be revealed. So let's read 2 Thessalonians 2, 7-8 again. For the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Only he who now restrains will do so until he is taken out of the way. And then the lawless one will be revealed. So very black and white there, very plain and straightforward. Also, it doesn't make sense for the Antichrist to be revealed prior to the rapture of the church, because we are not looking for the Antichrist. As a church, we are looking for Jesus, who is our blessed hope. Titus 2:13, we are looking for his glorious appearing, right? So we are looking for Jesus to come and take us out of this crazy world. We are not looking for the revealing of the Antichrist. But I want this video to be an encouragement to you guys that we won't be going through the tribulation, okay? We won't be seeing the son of perdition take over. We won't be seeing everyone on earth worship him and forced to take the mark of the beast, okay? So, like I said, I want this to be an encouragement to you. And needless to say, we see there are a lot of candidates for the Antichrist, the son of perdition, walking this earth right now. However, we cannot say we know which one it will be. Do I personally think the Antichrist is alive and well right now? Yes, I do. But I think that throughout history, there have always been a lot of Antichrists, those who fit the bill for son of perdition. So since we see the tribulation casting its shadow onto us today, we know the rapture is even sooner. So anyways, you guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless you. I will see you in the clouds very soon. It is a great day to be raptured.